You're going to fail your dissertation defense, and in this video, I am going to explain to you exactly why and how to avoid it. I'm Dr. Lacey. I work with doctoral students to finish their dissertations in 12 months or less by following a very simple 10-hour weekly routine, putting words on the page. Today, we're talking about dissertation defenses. I am going to break this up between proposal defense and final defense. In general, though, the reason why most people fail defenses who do fail defenses is because they were not prepared for what the actual defense is about. I want to go to a story. Many of you have heard it before, but when I was working on, we have what's called a publishable paper, is what you do before you can take your exams and do your dissertation. But you go through the same process of writing a proposal and defending it. Well, I spent all of my time the summer before working on my literature review because everybody kept saying the literature review was the most important. And so I would spend like at least 5 to 7 hours each day for that entire summer reading articles, looking up articles, writing notes, and really shaping what I thought was a really solid literature review. I was so proud of it. And I was also giving my chair updates and giving her drafts to review, and she was like, it's good to go. I finished the rest of my proposal. I wasn't really sure what to do with the methods, but I just did what I did in like a previous class, like my intro to research. I wrote what I thought was a good methods, like I'm going to do some interviews, it's going to be good to go, whatever. Fast forward, get to the defense. I'm so excited, y'all, because this committee is like two like Black women who I just highly respect and love. And we were all in the room. And before we went in the room, I did ask my chair, like, are you sure it's good to go? Like, I don't know. I don't think I did this right. She was like, no, it's good. Like, yeah, there's some things you need to address, but it shouldn't be too bad. Don't worry. I go in the room and they are asking me question after question about, well, why interviews and how long will the interview be? And I know you're going to talk to like Black women, but like, why? And how do you know which ones? And it was like a series of questions and that I just could not think of an answer to because I didn't know the answer. I didn't even know that I was supposed to know this level of detail. And I just at some point shut down and I was just trying not to cry, but I felt that like I cried in there and then I was mad that I was crying. And that defense ended with those two committee members who I highly respect looking at me with such pity, but like empathy of, we can't pass this. Like in good conscience, we can't pass it. Looking back on it now, absolutely, they shouldn't have passed me. There was no reason. I didn't even give them a shred of anything to hold on to be able to pass. But what they did say is, if you are able to rewrite this and give it to us, then we will pass you and sign the paperwork. I was so pissed though. I couldn't hear any of that. I was pissed at everyone because in my mind, how would you let me get into my defense if I wasn't ready? Why didn't anyone say, hey, you need to focus on this part, right? Like I'm looking at my chair like, hello. And she didn't say anything during this meeting, by the way. She was quiet, but no one told me. So I am making this video because I want you to know. So if you are someone who is working on your, let's say, proposal defense, the main goal in a proposal defense is, it's great that you know the literature, but what are you going to do? Why are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? And what are you going to do once you do it? Right? Those are questions. I try to make it as simple as possible, but essentially it's what your methods answer. The literature review is to justify why your study needs to be completed, but the methods is the heart of your study. And I'm going to be real with you. Most people are not going to ask you any questions about the literature review. They don't care. It's a checkbox to make sure you did it, but no one cares. What they care about are the methods because that's what the Institutional Review Board cares about. And those are the questions they're going to be asking you about because those are the questions that will either get them sued or flagged as doing something unethical if you don't follow proper protocol. So your defense for the proposal is an extra like check mark or a checkpoint to see, do you understand your research design? Can you articulate it in great detail? And does it align with the ethics and the standards set forth by the Institutional Review Board? If you don't know how to answer questions related to your methods like I didn't, you're going to fail. just like I did. I would tell you failing that proposal defense was probably the best thing that could have happened to me. In a moment though, I would have fought you if you said that to me. But where I'm at now after working with thousands of doc students, I could tell you that that is the best thing that could have happened to me because it taught me that this is your doctoral process. Yes, you have faculty there to guide you. Things are going to slip through the cracks. They're going to forget something. They're going to forget how critical certain details are because they've already been through this. They probably helped other students through this, and they probably are so overwhelmed with what's going on that it slips their mind, or they don't tell you, or just a number of things happen. And so you gotta know, what is these processes about? What's the purpose? What's the checklist? Yeah, it makes it hard, especially if you're someone like me as a first generation college student. I didn't even know what I didn't know, but I make sure, I don't care how annoying I'm being, I don't care how much I have to ask. I ask people, I double check, I triple check. It is why I started Qual Scholars, because I didn't want another doc student to be confused or not even know what they were supposed to do. I didn't want the same thing for them that happened to me, and that's why I do this. So the second thing, when it comes to the final defense, we already know your literature. We already know your design. You don't need to repeat the things that you did in your proposal defense. You might want to give us a brief overview, but you don't need to spend time there. Where you're going to spend the bulk of your final dissertation defense time is, number one, telling us overarching findings. What are the big buckets, if you will, in terms of the things that you found that we need to know? And the second part that you're going to focus on is, what does those findings mean? This is not the time for you to read every quote, every piece of data. No, just tell us the overall, doing qualitative work, tell us the overall themes. What are your 3 to 5 big ideas that you found related to the data? And then really go into detail. What do these findings mean? How does it relate to existing literature? And how does it not relate to it? What do those connections and differences actually mean? What does it mean about this problem? What does it mean about the solution to the problem? And what should we do as the field, as a person who picks up your writing? What should we do next? What are the tangible, clear steps that we should do next based on you? Your final dissertation is your introduction as doctor. We came to hear you. We want to know, what are you telling us to do? I'm staying here because most students, they just focus on, well, I'm going to read all of these quotes, but they can't answer questions related to, but what do all these quotes mean, and what should we be doing, and what are you going to do with your work? Most students don't think about that because they don't see themselves as doctor. Most students think, oh, this is just another thing that somebody's going to tell me what to do. If you are at the end of the dissertation where you're writing your findings, your discussion, and any final chapters, you realize that your committee and your chair becomes more and more hands off. They start telling you things like, I don't know, what do you want to do? What do you think? It's up to you. You make the decision. And you're going to get frustrated because you're like, hello, what happened to all the hand holding and the guidance that you gave me before? Where is that? Nobody can tell you what to do because you're a doctor. Nobody can tell you what to say or how you think about it or what you think it's meaning or what you recommend because you're the expert. You're the one who did the research. And so if you can't answer those questions, your final defense is going to be dismal. Like, you're going to have such a hard time. Overarching, whether it's the proposal defense, your final defense, your comprehensive exams, oral exams, I would say that the really, like, at the core of all of this, the core of why it's so hard and overwhelming, is you have such deep-seated fear and disbelief that you are someone who knows enough, who has enough, whatever, to be called doctor. You don't think you deserve to be doctor. And so you keep mentally rehearsing all of the reasons why you're going to fail, you're going to be found out, that you're going to get something wrong, nobody's going to like it, and they're going to tell you you suck. And because you're spending most of your time replaying those stories or trying to play the what if game, you're not preparing for, hey, I'm the one who collected this data. I'm the one who analyzed this data. I'm the one who thought of this topic. I'm the one who sat here and wrote chapter after chapter. You don't see that as proof of you know what you're doing. The fact that you made it to the end of the dissertation when there's a good 50-60% of doc students who started with you didn't make it, you don't see that as proof. You're so busy trying to plan for the inevitable fail that it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because because you're not preparing to walk into a room and people say, I love your research. Oh my God, this was so beautiful. What is next? And for them to be truly excited about it, so they want to know, are you going to publish? Are you going to present? Is it going to lead to more projects? But you're not thinking about that because you have already determined that you're going to fail and you're going to walk in a room and that's what's going to happen because that's what you planned for. I am being this harsh with you because I want you to focus on what are the reasons why you will pass. How can you focus on whatever defense you're doing, the key components? If it's the proposal, focus on the methods. If it's the final defense, focus on the overarching findings, what they mean and what should happen next. Be prepared to answer those questions, whether you do so through your presentation or you do so through the open Q&A. But be prepared. Practice for that. Get feedback or advice for how do I frame my recommendations? How do I select which findings to focus on and which ones to not? Get preparation for that. If you want help, join us inside of the Finish Your Dissertation Institute. I would gladly help you prepare for any and all defenses so that you can walk in there with your head held high and feeling so confident that, yeah, and it's just a matter of time that you're going to sign that paperwork. That's how our students go into their defenses. They're not worried about failing. They're just worried about, like, what am I going to wear and who's going to be there. The link is down below. That is all for today. I will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.